School is really supposed to be a place that captures what we do naturally, which is learn and follow our curiosity. And it's very touching, actually, to see one, the care that the mentors are showing for these young people, and the care they're showing in terms of the attention they're paying to them, the attention they're paying to their questions, and also their just kind of natural ability not to overtake the inquirer's experience. You don't want to rob them of the discoveries.
Mercer, you want to go first?
I'm Mercer Jackson, a student at Inspire Teaching. I'm a participator in the Inquiry Project.
And I'm Wendy Redfern. I'm working with Mercer on the Inspire Project. I've been making jewelry since about 2015, maybe 2014, I got really serious about it.
I think my mom introduced me to her pieces. Yeah, I think my mom had one of her pieces. And she showed me, and I was like, that's so amazing. And she was like, I could get you an interview with her, but you got to take it serious.
It's really helpful to engage the village, right? You know, it takes everyone to be involved in one's growth and evolution.
So this is a self-portrait of me, but it's like, it has rhinestone shirt, and then it has the actual like chain that I made. Then it has the logo on there. It has a watch that I made, and then it's me made out of clay. This one, yeah, I've been waiting to show you this one. This one took a lot of time. It's the sketch I showed you.
Oh yeah, that turned out nice.
Thanks. So her face is clay, lips are clay, and then her earrings are like tiger print sort of rhinestones.
This is interesting because this is like one of the first ones where you did a sketch first and you did the model, right?
Yeah. Yep, I could show the sketch.
Yeah.
This was the sketch.
Yep, it turned out nice.
Now, through like Miss Wendy and the Inquiry Project, I've made a lot more jewelry than I ever would make. Like knowing me, I would have just made a piece like once a month, but like I'm just producing pieces and they actually like look good, like they're not rushed or anything. So yeah, this Inquiry Project is really a stepping stone for that.
Sometimes we get caught up in life and work and everything. So as of lately, I've been a little more busy on the work side and haven't been able to concentrate on my art as much. But this has provided an opportunity for me to really refocus on that. So it has been really fulfilling for me in that way.
Yeah, it's gonna be a holiday when Miss Wendy makes her comeback piece. We're all waiting.
So my name is Becca Gelinas. I go to school at Inspired Teaching School, and I'm in 8th grade.
Ted Grand, ex-National Zoo research person.
I had like a 4th grade project on rainforest, and I think that really, I just got really interested from that. And then ever since then, I haven't really been able to do that much because our science classes didn't, go into that much depth on rainforests. But I always just wanted to learn more about them.
I was always interested in the natural world and the cell. I mean, I had turtles when I was a little kid and snakes and then, when you go to school, you get presented with a very delimited thing. And I had wonderful teachers, but that was not what I was comfortable with.
It's actually funny, the last couple of years, we've learned a lot about cells. And, it's not so much, it's cool and interesting, but not,
It didn't click.
Yeah, it didn't click.
And you don't know, I don't think we know until it clicks.
Yeah.
And then it's like that's when you turn the corner. Mm-hmm. My best cycling buddy and I refer to ourselves as recovering academics.
I feel like in, regular school, there's not that much specification you can do. There's a lot of cool, broad stuff that you can learn, but you never really get into specific, nitty-gritty of different topics.
That's what I'm curious about, Becca, how you feel it's rolled off so far.
I feel like it's actually been a lot better than I expected it to be.
Well, I couldn't be more happy. I couldn't. I mean, science isn't the only thing, but it's up there and it ought to have a fair hearing.
I'm Iris, and I go to ITDS, Inspired Teaching Demonstration School, and I like taking out invasive species.
I'm Brian Wright, and I'm Iris's mentor for the project, and I also like being outside and pulling invasive species. At first, actually, I didn't know what the topic was. They just said, oh, there's a 7th grader, and she has a project. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, like I had no idea what the topic was or anything. And but the idea of like kind of an outdoors-based mentorship was something that I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, I found a section in Rock Creek Park that I now work on. It's a very vague section, but it's where I go to work on every other Friday.
You know, by summer, Iris is going to know basically every plant in the woods, because how do you not? When you're out there staring at it, you know what they smell like, and you know which ones are fuzzy and which ones are prickly and which ones grow whatever way. You know, just the time spent on that makes these things real.
Iris will never forget what a wineberry looks like for the rest of her life, because she's been picking wineberry thorns out of her hands too. So it's like that tangible, like really visceral experience is pretty great.
This is some learning that I can get excited about, and all that Brian knows, like it makes me want to learn more, because there's still more to learn.
I'm Mark Fisher. I'm a senior editor at the Washington Post.
And I'm Kennedy Thomas Williams.
Hi, Kennedy.
Hi.
Seth Bitterman, who I knew from having been on the school's board, put us together and saw that Kennedy had an interest in journalism.
I know I was looking for people who had a lot of experience in journalism, and Mr. Biederman recommended Mr. Fisher to me because he said that you were kind of like friends with the school, and then we just started talking and kind of, he became my mentor.
Yeah, and it was clear just from our first exchanges that Kennedy had the number one thing that's of most importance to any journalist, which is really deep curiosity.
My topic is like music and like how like the relationship between parents and children, like music affects that. I think I wanted to do something different, and I know that like with everything that's going on in the world, we kind of needed something to like lift our spirits a little bit, something fun to talk about. And so I thought music was like, well, what's more fun than music, and listening to that. So I kind of just got interested in that topic.
I've seen just in our few exchanges a real growth in terms of how she thinks about, how she sort of conceptualizes and thinks about what kinds of questions could possibly bring out the stories that she's looking for.
One thing I definitely learned from Mr. Fisher was trying to not like ask yes or no questions, because we all have like a tendency to like ask yes or no questions even if we're not realizing it, but like to ask questions that get people to tell a story, like take them back to a time where they can like remember something and like tell you how they felt and everything.
People are not only eager to tell their stories, but they are tremendously grateful for the opportunity to talk about what's happened to them.
I definitely have been inspired by Mr. Fisher to start, like considering a career in journalism, because that's something definitely that I do want to keep exploring and I do want to keep learning about.
That's great. I'm really glad to hear that. I didn't set out to do that, but I'm thrilled that it happened. It's a luxury to have this one-on-one connection.
I'm just really excited to learn more about journalism.
It's been fascinating to watch how each relationship is taking on its own tenor and kind of even its own culture for how the mentor and the inquirer communicate. And as they move towards developing a final project and how they're going to showcase that project, I'll be fascinated to see what direction they go.